Okay, good day and welcome to our next session. So for today, we are going to discuss approximate analysis of building frames. So first, we have here the learning objectives. So the end of this session, you will be able to, number one, analyze building frames by approximate methods for vertical loads, and then analyze building frames by cantilever method for horizontal loads, and analyze building frame by portal method for horizontal loads. So portal method and cantilever method are those approximate method of analysis for building frames. So we have here the behavior of a structure subjected to horizontal forces depends on its height to width ratio. The deformation in low-rise structures where the height is smaller than its width is characterized by shear deformation. In high-rise building where height is several times greater than its lateral dimensions, it is dominated by bending action. So, by definition, it is very clear that if we have a greater dimension on the lateral or the horizontal uh, dimensions than that of the vertical, the shear deformation shall prevail. Otherwise, if your height is substantially greater than the lateral dimension, your flexural action shall prevail. So for the method, number one, we have the portal method is an approximate analysis used for analyzing building frames subjected to lateral loads. So what are those? Wind loads and seismic forces. So we do not include here the gravity load such as dead load and live load. So all of these are horizontal forces. So since shear deformations are dominant in low-rise structures, the method makes simplifying assumptions regarding horizontal shear in columns. Each bay of a structure is treated as a portal frame and the horizontal force is distributed equally among them. So this method is generally appropriate for low-rise building where your dimension horizontal is greater than the vertical dimension or the height of the building structure. So we have here three assumptions. Number one, the points of inflections are located at the mid-height of each column above the first floor. If the base of the column is fixed, the point of inflection is assumed at the mid-height of the ground floor column as well. Okay? Otherwise, it is assumed at the hinge column base. So secondly, the points of inflections occur at the mid-span of the beams. And then number three, the total horizontal shear at any floor is distributed among the columns of that floor such that the exterior columns carry half the force carried by the inner columns. So, meaning the internal column will carry more loadings or more shear force than that of the exterior column. Okay, so here the first assumption is that we are going to have point of inflections on the mid from second floor up. Okay, so we can do that as well if your supports here are in fixed. So we can also assume that the point of inflection are at the mid of each of these column. Otherwise, if this is not fixed, okay, your hinge will occur at the base, okay, at the base of the column. But in second floor and above, it will be the same. Okay, we will assume that the point of inflection is at the mid of each column. And then from that, we can also assume the point of inflection at the mid of each of the beams on the frame. That are those are the assumptions in Portal method. So for cantilever method, it is applicable to high-rise structures. This method is very similar to Portal method. In this method, we also assume hinges at the mids of the beam and columns. The only difference is that for the cantilever method, instead of finding the shear in the columns, we are using an assumption to find the axial force in the column. The assumption is used to find the column axial force is that the entire frame will deform laterally like a single vertical cantilever. So to illustrate that, if this is the base of the structure, so imagine that this is a beam that is supported on a fixed basis on the base, okay? Just like a cantilever beam, it will bend along the direction of your lateral forces, okay? So later on, you will discover how to compute these lateral forces, and these lateral forces in seismic analysis are called the base shear. Although this frame is composed of several vertical members and horizontal members, your assumption is just like a cantilever beam that is supported only at the a single side of the beam, okay? So what would be the difference now? So the difference is, in Portal method, we will first solve for the shear. And remember that the shear is always horizontal because a shear force is a cutting force. It is not an axial force, okay? So for Portal method, first is to solve for the shear. And for cantilever method, first to solve is the force on the column. So force on the column is basically an axial force. Okay, so in a short while you will discover the method. So here we have the following assumptions in cantilever method. So just like the Portal method, the points of inflections are also located at the mid-height of the column above the first floor. Again, the same assumption, if the base of the column is fixed, the point of inflection is assumed at the mid-height of the ground floor column as well. Otherwise, it is assumed the hinge column base. So points of inflection occurs at the mid-span of the beam, and then the axial force in the column at any floor is linearly proportional to its distance from the centroid of all the columns at that level. Okay, so I think we should have to illustrate this through an example. Okay, so we have here an example. So we have a frame, compute the following. We have a moment at G, shear of beam EH, and shear at column EF. And by the way, these are loaded horizontally. Say this is 30 kilonewton and this is 50 kilonewton. So we use Portal method according to the problem to compute for the following unknowns. So the first step is to make a portal for G. Okay, so how is this? Remember that in this frame we have hinges on mids of the vertical and the horizontal members. So in that way, the moment at G, we'll just have to isolate the cut portion at G. Okay, and if you're going to cut that one, there will be a vertical force here, an axial, and a horizontal force. See, this is the horizontal force. See, I'm going to label all of my point of inflection. Therefore, this is at point 10. We will label this as shear at GH, and this is the axial force on GH. Okay, so therefore, if this is 6 meters, this should be 3 meters, and your moment at G would be against the direction of the rotation caused by the shear at GH. So therefore, by summation moments G, we can say that moment at G is VGH times 3. Okay, so the key here is to determine our GH. So we can do that by cutting all of this. Okay, so perhaps you can have this figure. Then we'll just have to delete and consider the mid height. So for basic assumption, this has a shear force against the direction of your lateral force here. So as this exterior column, and your interior column shall carry twice shear as the exterior column, and therefore you can label this or we can compute that by summation forces horizontal is equal to 0. We have 30 plus 50. This shall be equal to V plus 2v plus v. Okay, so we have 80 is equal to 4v, or the shear will be equal to 80 over 4, that is 20. And what we need here is this one, because this is also VGH. Now if this is leftwards, it will be transferred to this portal rightwards. So remember the axiom of the mechanics, action and reaction. The reaction forces has opposite direction but the same magnitude. So therefore, we can right away move to the moment at G is equal to 20 times 3, or mg is equal to 60 kilonewton meter. Okay, so next, how about the shear of beam EH? So if we have to illustrate beam EH, we can consider a cut portion on the mids. Okay, so this is 9.10 and 0.8. So let us label what we have obtained here. Say this is obtained to be 20, and there shall also be shear force on 9. Okay, so the shear force on 9 shall be labeled as the shear on HI. Then of course there will be a corresponding axial force on that. By the way, the direction of the arrow are assumed, okay, are just assumed. When we have a negative sign on our assumption, just leave it and just carry it on your equilibrium equation. Just stick to the direction and then carry the sign. Say this is PHI and this is PGH. Okay, from that we will be having here also the shear at beam EH. Okay, here it is. And should also have here a shear. Sorry, an axial force on EH. Remember that P is denoted as axial force and V is denoted as the shear force. Okay, so what we know here is 20. So we need to get the value of shear at EH. So if we take moments point H, what will happen? We can solve for EH, but we still need to obtain VHI, and that VHI could be obtained out of the frame. Let us label the distances here. See, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4 meters. So again, we are going to adopt this whole framing system, and then delete this up to the point of inflection, the upper portion. This is 30. We have V. This is twice V, and this is another V. So by summation forces vertical, we can say that 30 is equal to V plus 2V plus V. Hence, V or 4V is equal to 30. So V here is 7.5. And of course, we will be needing shear at what? HI, this one, which is actually this. And that is 7.5 as computed here. So if this is leftwards, your VHI is assumed to be rightwards. Okay, that is why this is correctly assumed. So this is 7.5. Okay, so we are now ready to take moments along H. So all of the axial forces will just have no moment arm on H, and what would be left is this one, a clockwise 7.5 times 2 plus a clockwise 20 multiplied by 3 plus shear along EH times 4. So this is equal to 0. So VEH is equal to negative 18.75 kilonewton. So again, negative simply means that this should be going downwards, or VEH should be going downwards. Okay, so next, how about the shear at the column EF? So the shear at the column EF would be determined by the portal on the mid portion. See, the portal on F see, we have here the portal on F. See, this is point F. So we label the distance. See, this is 4, 4, and the half of 4, that is 2. So what do we know here? So of course we already determined this one. On this, that is actually 2V, or the V obtained here is 7.5. We just multiply 7.5 by 2. That is actually 15. And I think we are done with the unknown, which is VEF. Okay. And to complete the label, just to complete the label of this portal, there shall be also axial force on EF, and then axial force on FI or IF, as well as its shear at IF, axial force along CF, and shear force along CF. So if we need PEF here, we need to obtain this first, as well as this one. But the first unknowns that would be obtained here are the horizontal. Okay, so we can do that by considering also the portal attached to it or adjacent. Okay, so again we will be working with this portal and then transfer it here, and we will be using also the portal and then transfer all the forces PCF, VCF, PIF, and VIF, and then proceed with the equilibrium equations to obtain some of the unknowns. Okay, so that's it for this problem. So I think we will proceed to another one. Okay, so let us have this problem. We compute for shear at DE, moment at B, and reaction at C. So let us not forget to indicate here the point of inflection on every mid span of the beam and the column. So for the shear at DE, so this is DE, so we will be needing this portal. Okay, this is point D. Okay, so there will be an attached portals to that. Okay, say this is 10, and we have 20 here. So we compute for the shear first. So the interior column is twice the shear on the external column. Therefore, by summation forces vertical, we can say that 10 is equal to 4V. Hence, V is 2.5. And we will be needing this shear at GD, which will be transferred here, and this is equivalent to 2.5. So we are concerned with shear at DE. Of course, there will be a corresponding axial force on DE, and there will also be axial force on DA, and also there is an axial force on GD. Okay, so how shall we determine now shear at DE? So simply take moments at this point. Okay, so taking moments at this point, these three forces will just have no moment arm, will coincide with D, and then what is left, the 2.5 and the shear along D. And I forgot, there will be also shear force along DA, and that could be obtained by considering the whole structure. Okay, let us place it here and just erase this portion. It's the point of inflection. So we also compute this is 2V, this is V, and this is also V. So by summation forces vertical, we shall say that 4V is equal to 30, hence V is 30 all over 4, that is 7.5, and 7.5 is actually your shear at DA, which could be placed here equivalent to 7.5. So now that we have that one, we consider the portal, this portal here. We take moments along D is equal to 0. So we take moments at this point. Again, these are eliminated. So we have 2.5 times the moment arm. What is the half of the upper column dimension? We have 12 here. So I think we're gonna place here the distances, that is 6. This is half of 16, that is 8. And this is half of 30, that is 15. Okay, so knowing that, we have clockwise 2.5 times 6 minus shear at DE times 15 minus this one, 7.5 times 8 is equal to 0. So shear on DE is equal to, by the way, this is plus, so we have 5 kilonewton, so positive. Okay, so this is the first known shear at DE. Next, how about moment at B? So B is here. So again, we will draw the portal of B. This is B. And also, there shall be moment at B. Here. So as we can see, the portal involves 2V here. So this is actually shear at BE. This is shear at BE. So 2V here is 7.5 times 2, that is 15. Okay, that is leftwards, and should transfer it here, should be rightwards. This is 15, and of course if we have to place here P BE, so it has no effect on the moment at B. So moment at B is 15 by half of this, half of 16, we have 8. So moment at B is equal to 15 by 8. This is by summation moments along B is equal to 0. Hence, moment at B is 120 kilonewton meter. Okay. So next, how about the reaction at C? So reaction at C shall involve here IFC, okay, the portal along IFC. Say this is F. So these are the portals or point of inflections. So label the distances. This is 6, this is 8, and this is 10. So what do we know here? So we know the shear at IF. Okay? The shear at IF is this one. And that was computed to be 2.5. So we'll just transfer it here. This is leftwards. And this should be rightwards. That is equal to 2.5. And of course, there will be a corresponding PIF here. What else? We have PFC, and of course there's a shear here, shear FC. This is shear FE, and there will be axial force along FE. So how shall we deal with this? We are actually after with this one. And do we know this? VFC. I think that was computed a while ago. This one. The shear is 7.5. So can actually place it here, 7.5. So what else do we need? We can take moments, this F, to solve for VFE. So if we know VFE, then we can have another known variable here. So let's do it. Summation moments along F. We have VFE times 10 plus 2.5, this one, times 6, and then plus this one, 7.5 times 8 is equal to 0. Hence VFE is negative 7.5 kilonewtons. Okay. What else do we need? We need this PIF. Okay. We will use this portal I. Say this is I. Distances 6. This is 10. We have already known the shear here. Say I'm gonna label this PIF. The shear here is already known a while ago. Here it is, and was computed to be 2.5. Of course, this will be automatically 2.5. There is no any other force left. Okay, so I think we need to take moments at this point. Say this point is 1. Summation moments along 1 is equal to 0. We have negative 2.5. Sorry, that is a clockwise, times 6 minus this one, PIF times 10 is equal to 0. So therefore, PIF will be equal to 1.5 kilonewton. So you can place it here, 1.5. Anyway, this is a positive, just carry the sign. Okay, so going back to this portal, we take summation forces vertical is equal to 0. So we have downwards negative 1.5 plus upwards this one, and then plus this one, VF, but BFE is negative 7.5, so that is equal to 0. So PFC will be equal to, just add this one, 9 kilonewton. And this is actually the reaction at C, because PFC will be transferred. This is FC, okay, will be transferred to this. Okay. This is 9, this shall be 9, and the reaction at C will be equal to 9. So here it is. Okay, so I think we are done with this problem. And by the way, I would like to specify that this is vertical reaction at C. Otherwise, if it is reaction at C, we'll be needing also the horizontal reaction, and then RC is just equal to square root of RCX squared plus RCY squared. But in this case, this is just referring to the vertical reaction at C. So let us try another problem. So let us try this single bay here with the following dimensions and force or lateral force. First, we are going to determine the reaction at F. So the reaction at F basically shall compose of vertical and horizontal. So if this is the portal, see this is point F, this is half point of inflection, therefore this is 2, and there will be a corresponding actual force here, say PFE, and shear along FE. Okay, there shall be moment at F here. There shall be also RF vertical and RF horizontal. Okay, so to get this value, we need to consider the whole structure so as to determine the horizontal shear. So that is to be remembered always, that the first thing that you will solve here is the horizontal. See, I'll just transfer this and then consider the whole structure. So I'm gonna copy this. Then we'll just have to delete this portion. So this is PFE transferred to this shall be also PFE. So that this is shear. There is no exterior column, so meaning this shall share all of these rightwards forces. So by summation forces vertical, we have 30 plus 15 minus V minus B is equal to 0. So we have 2V is equal to 45, or in short, V is equal to 22.5 kilonewton. So let us place it in here. Transfer here. Which shall also equate to this RF along horizontal. Okay. So next, you can use the portal of E to further find for the unknowns. So the distances, this is 2, and this is 3. So on that, you can label this as 22.5. This is PFE. And then can have this as shear along DE, and this is shear along BE with, of course, sorry, this is PBE, and there will be VBE, and also this is PDE. Okay, so portal method horizontal force. So we can actually get this right away by using the upper portion. See, we consider this portal, the upper portion. this is V, and this is V, and this is 30. Therefore, obviously, this is 15, right? So this is 15. Okay. So from that, again, we can separate its subportal because it will involve here PDE also. So we can separate that portal. It's point D. So the distances is 3. This is half of 4, that is 2. Okay, this one. And then we have already obtained here shall be 15. Of course, obviously, this shall also yield to 15. There will be shear on CD and PDE. Okay. So obviously we will take moments at this point. Say this is point 1. We take summation moments along 1 is equal to 0. We have negative PDE times 3 plus 15 times 2. So therefore, PDE is positive 30 all over 3, that is 10 kilonewton. So we can just transfer it here, 10, and then of course we can determine this PBE by summation forces horizontal on this portal. Summation forces H is equal to 0. We have rightwards PBE, rightwards 15, this one, this is plus, minus leftwards 22.5 is equal to 0. So PBE is positive 7.5. Okay, 16 kilonewton. So why do we need to get this one? So that we can take moments at this point. This is point E. So summation moments along E is equal to 0. We have this one, VBE, clockwise, positive, times 3, plus this 15, times 2, plus this one. 22.5 times 2. Okay, is equal to 0. So we can now get VBE be equal to negative 25 kilonewton. So finally, we can have summation forces vertical on the same portal and upwards VBE, but however we carry the sign. This negative 25 minus 10 plus PFE is equal to 0. So PFE is equal to 35 kilonewton. Hence, we can transfer that 35 to this portal. Okay. So therefore, RFV is also equal to 35. Now that we have known H and V, so therefore RF will just be equal to 22.5 squared plus 35 squared. So therefore RF is 41.61 kilonewtons. Okay, so this is the answer for the first requirement. So next, how about moment at A? So this is the moment at A. Okay, so it's quite simple. So we'll just have to place it here. Okay, so if we are going to consider the upper portion here, there will be a reaction or the shear here that is against this direction, and all in all the upper shear is 45. Just divide that by 2, that is 22.5 each, and this 22.5 shall transfer to the portal of A, 22.5. Therefore your moment at A is equal to 22.5 times 2, hence that is equal to 45 kilonewton meter. Okay, so next, what about shear at BE? Shear at beam BE. So let's see if we have already obtained that one. Oh, here it is. VBE is equal to negative 25 kilonewton. So this must be the answer for the third unknown, VB. Okay, so that's it for this example. So for your seat work, kindly work on this problem and compute for the 8 unknowns here. Okay, so it will be uploaded in your Google Classroom. So check your Google Classroom for this exercise. Thank you.